Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path of recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Glenn.
What's up, Mikey?
How you doing, my friend?
Good morning, man. I always sound so enthusiastic, man, when I say good morning to you.
Well, because you are.
Here at the coffee shop.
Yeah, you're a pretty transparent guy. For people who don't know, you're a pretty transparent guy. I mean, if you're feeling it, people around you know you're feeling it.
Yeah.
And when you're not feeling it,
People
around you know you're not feeling it. I mean, isn't that beautiful? What was old Glenn like? I mean, old Glenn, because I know old Mike was, everything's great. Yeah, and inside my brain is colliding. My finances are deteriorating. My health is a scare, and I'm doing great.
That's interesting. So I was a chameleon.
Oh.
I was whatever I needed to be for that situation and snippet of time.
It sounds like a lot
Period.
of work.
Oh my gosh, it was like algebraic, calculus, trigonometry equations all wrapped up in one.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
But you
my
pulled it
God, I
off.
was so
You pulled
stressed.
it off until you couldn't.
Yeah, now I'm just me.
Yeah, right.
Now
I
I'm
love it.
I just am who I am. And you know what's funny? I was on with a sober guy today from London, and he's like really stressing because he's trying to figure out who he is. And I think he's in his 30s, and he's trying to figure out, am I gay? Am I not gay? What am I? What should I say to people? And all I saw, and he's early in sobriety, and all I saw were like the mental gymnastics and pain of just trying to figure out who you are or who he wants to be to the public. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and he was asking my advice. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to give you advice. I said, what I can do is share what I did. I said, what I did is through the steps of AA and through the path to sobriety, I found who I was. I found my passion, my purpose, my why in life. I found out what I was about, and I found the confidence to just be Glenn. And if people don't like Glenn, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. You know what? Not everybody. I mean, frankly, I snuck a little Ben & Jerry's ice cream last night.
Did you?
And I sat there and it was like called Netflix and chill ice cream or something, and I didn't really like it. Mm-hmm. And I sat there. I'm like, how could somebody make something like this that doesn't taste good? Right. And yet I sat there and thought, you know what? This is not my flavor, but I bet there are millions of people that love this flavor, and it doesn't make it bad. And there's a lot of people that Glenn's not their flavor.
Right.
It doesn't make me bad. It doesn't make what I'm doing bad. It's just not, I mean, where's the who says everybody's supposed to love you?
Right. I love that. I mean, one of the things we do, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the
I'm not even sure what our topic is today, but
I know. Well, we'll get there.
I don't think it's this.
It is because, Sober.Coffee might not be everybody's flavor. So if you're listening to us for the first time, I just hope people get to our website, because one of the places, like in our resource room,
our
we
website rocks, man.
Yeah.
Our website is a growing, expanding. I mean, it's just, with the writings that's being added, the blogs that are being,
blogs,
I mean,
the resource
it says
room.
writings, but they're really blogs,
right.
But, I mean, with the stuff that's going in there, I mean, that is a good, and it's at Sober.Coffee.
Right.
That's all you put in the website. There's no sober.coffee.com.net.eu.
Just
sober.coffee. And
Uh-huh.
boom. You're there at the website. It has all of our podcasts. It has all of the resources, all of the writings, blogs. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So today, we're here for coffee. I got an
I'm
idea.
drinking my coffee right now.
I got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
What about just some things that we've heard, questions I have myself? Let's do a little back and forth. Shoot, a little
Some
true and
banter,
false.
some true and false banter.
Little true and false.
Right. So here's, we get a lot of stuff from, internet, from emails, from social media, and hey, we're not experts. We're not medical experts. we're experts on our journey and our path, our sober path.
Yep.
We are still learning. We are still figuring this out. There's stuff that comes out of our mouth that is not accurate. There's stuff that comes out of our mouth that can be done better.
Right.
But we are who we are, and what we do have is sobriety, and we have changed our lives in a much better way.
Yep, absolutely.
That's our baseline, right? But, a couple episodes back, way back, we did these espresso shots, right?
Kind of rapid fire, quick
fire,
questions.
right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're going back to with this true false. But I think you've got overachiever. You got 10, I got 5.
Well, it was funny because
we'll just see how
when
it
you
goes.
first said, you said, well, I'll just fire some at you. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I thought, wait a minute, I got some that I'd love to hear your response to. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Sober people never let you down. True or false?
False. Sober people are still real people.
Right.
Sober people are still real people. They still have character defects. Maybe they let you down less often, and maybe they don't let you down due to alcohol. But, man, people are people. People are human. People screw up. It doesn't matter their intention. They could try to be the best people, and they still screw up.
Yeah.
I still screw up.
I agree with you. I think
that's how I know that.
Yeah.
I still screw up, and I try hard, and I have great intentions. But, man, I'm human, and I still mess up.
All right, go.
Okay. A 28-day stay in rehab will cure my alcoholism.
False.
But why?
Well, 28 days is what.
Look at their websites, Mikey. Look what their websites say.
28 days will be covered by insurance. That's true. Not 29. 28 days will be covered.
Somehow insurance has figured out 28 days the right mark.
Days. Look, for me, and I had the opportunity. I fought it on the way out there. I didn't want to go to rehab. I didn't want to spend the 28 days there, and I didn't want people to figure out that I was gone for 28 days because then they'd do the math. They've seen the movie. They'd figure out where I was. I tried to stay clear of 28 days. But what happened to me was it was 28 days for me to punch out. How did you phrase that? It'll cure my alcoholism?
Yeah, a 28-day stay in rehab will cure my alcoholism.
False indeed, but it's certainly, I would say what's true is it started my journey.
Okay, so it started your journey. So when people go to 28-day rehab, you're saying the expectation when you come out is you're just on a journey. You didn't really fix anything.
Well, I'm going to say that you get what you put into something. I was a sponge in there. So if you just are taking a 28-day vacation with mints on your pillow at night and a continental breakfast, if that's your objection and if that's your experience, then I'm saying you probably haven't taken the first step to your journey.
Okay, so to recap this one, what you're saying is a 28-day stay in rehab is merely a start on the journey,
if you're
not
open.
The entire journey and solution.
Absolutely,
okay.
positively.
Got it. Okay.
All right, great. Smoking weed is okay as long as you don't drink. True or false?
Well, are you saying that for me?
That's your next question. True or false? Smoking weed.
I mean, I say false.
Okay, that's what I'm asking for.
Your
honest answer.
I say absolutely false. But for some people, hey, I mean, there are people that I know that smoke a little weed and stop drinking and smoke a little weed and have a great life. That's not my story.
That's not my story.
I mean, I got to be sober, which means I have no mind-altering substances in this brain.
I've come to appreciate the clearness of my thinking. I don't like what I'm thinking sometimes, but it's clear.
So one of the things about my drinking is I drink to escape. I use mind-altering substances to escape. So if I have to do that today, I am very aware of it, that something isn't going on in my life. That's right. Because if you're doing and doing all the right stuff in life, you shouldn't need to escape.
Right. Okay.
Next one. Making amends means I just pay back what I owe. Or just say, I'm sorry.
I think I've said it before. My grandmother's, one of my favorite lines that my grandmother gave me when I was growing up is, being sorry doesn't help. And I didn't get that when I was 6. I probably didn't get it when I was 7, but it started sinking in by the time I was 8 or 9. And basically what she was saying, and she clarified it with a little relatively loud voice, is that act like you're sorry. Don't tell me you're sorry, but act like you're sorry. So I would say that making amends means that I just pay back what I... No, amends, in my opinion, anyway, and I should probably Google it at some point, but this is rapid fire. There was no presentation or no preparation for this. I would say that making amends, my definition is, yes, having remorse, but then changing your actions to assure it's never going to happen again.
Right. So the question, I think you said false, but so making amends means I just pay back what I owe, or I just say I'm sorry.
False.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think before step 9, right, because we're talking about step 9 here, I think before step 9, I think one of the keys is living amends. Mm-hmm. I think people around you that you're going to make amends to will have the opportunity over time to see that you have changed. Mm-hmm. And trust me, if you haven't changed, good luck with making your amends. Mm-hmm. But the amends that I and we have made, the people around us saw, holy crap, man, something's going on with this guy. Something's really different. So when we sat down and made our 9th step, it was, okay, I get it, man. Wow, you have really changed from the whatever you were before to who you are now, right? So, and yeah, words don't matter, actions do, and sometimes it's paying back money, right? But it's sitting down from somebody you stole from and say, hey, look, I'm looking back at my life. I did some stuff that, I took money. I overdid my expense account. I owe you money. I ran from my debt. How can I make it right?
Mm-hmm. Right. It's funny. We do have some overlap because one of my questions was, people forgive you just because you're sober. I think it's the same question. No, it's... They're not forgiving you just because you're sober, and I wouldn't expect that they would.
Right.
I mean, there needs to be justification. All right, I got another one for you.
All right, let's
To
rock.
stop drinking takes only willpower. True or false?
False.
Okay.
Willpower's got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I mean, I tried for willpower, and well, for me, willpower has nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. Maybe my willpower sucked, but I mean, to have willpower, you got to have discipline, you got to have self-control. When I was drinking, I didn't have any of that stuff, so there was no willpower fueled by anything. The only willpower I had was what would it take to get the next drink.
Right. So if I put your
false.
If I put your favorite historic drink, what was your favorite in front of you right now? What would cause you to not pick that drink up? Wouldn't it be willpower?
No, I don't think so. Again, sometimes I struggle with the definition of all these words, but for me, if you put my favorite drink in front of me, I would say I'm not going to drink that because I love the life that I have, and I've played the tape, and I know taking that drink will not be one drink.
Tools.
Absolutely, I love that. Tools.
So you're trained. It's not just a willpower. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Once I hit the 1-year mark, I can safely drink in moderation.
Obviously, for me, that is false.
How do you know?
Well, because I
Have you tried it?
No,
I
haven't. Yeah,
It's false.
That's a great point.
It's false.
Yeah, I've heard. Here's what I know. If I watch a documentary on what fire does to a home and the danger fire had, I don't need to necessarily experience a fire in my home
So
to
you learn from
understand the
others.
dangers. So I keep stuff away from my furnace. I don't leave my stove on when I walk away from it. Because I've seen the documentary. This is what happens, right? So I don't need to. So if the question is, can I drink in moderation? I have seen the houses on fire in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I've seen people go back out, and it never have I heard somebody come back and go, well, I went back out for a couple of days, and it was really good.
So, no, so I told you that. So what you're saying is by going in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, you listen to other people's stories and you learn from their stories.
Absolutely.
Right? So when I tell you that I drank it 13 months and nothing changed for me, it was like I picked up a drink yesterday. and it was a disastrous relapse.
That hits me deep. Yes.
You can relate to that.
And that's maturity.
Because do you know how many times in the program that I would have said, well, that happened to you, not me.
Yeah, right.
I'm different. I can handle it this time.
Right.
I mean, that's my ego.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
So, okay.
Positively. All right. Mike and Glenn make money from this podcast. True or false? Our engineer just laughed.
So
we haven't paid him yet.
So Brian just laughed. Well, we have paid him. Of course we paid him.
Of course.
But no, we in fact, driving over here today, we have not made a dime off this show. In fact, we have spent thousands of dollars of our own cash. And that's kind of the way we look at that as just one of the number of service things that we do for folks out there on the sober path.
So we don't have big plans to go in public, an IPO party, any of that stuff?
No, and the reason why I was thinking about it on the way over, because I was listening to our U2 song 40.
Yeah, right.
And how we reached out to them so many times and they never responded, that we wanted to use their anthem that we do use.
Right.
And one of the things our research says is they don't care if you use it, as long as you don't make money. And I was laughing on the way over here. I'm like, we are well in that safe zone.
Right.
So,
all right, go ahead.
We are not Joe Rogan.
Go ahead.
Okay. I've been doing AA for 3 months. 90 meetings in 90 days. My life is still all screwed up. Should I quit?
Wait, that was a yes or no,
Okay.
not a true or
I
false.
should quit.
False. Keep coming back, I say.
Keep coming back. I love
that's one phrase that you probably hear at every single AA meeting you go to, and pay attention to those words. Keep coming back. 3 simple words, but it worked for me. I can't tell you when the light bulbs went off, because multiple light bulbs went off. Early, a light bulb of acceptance would go off, a light bulb of gratefulness would go off, a light bulb of forgiveness would go off, right? But it didn't all happen in 90 days. It didn't all happen in 90 minutes. It's still happening. Light bulbs still go off.
Right. So I was in a meeting last night where I actually, kicking this around a little bit, and I was, I said, hey, look, I'm on the slow train. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. But, I am not one of those guys or gals that went to rehab, knelt down next to their bunk, right, got hit by a bolt of lightning, and they woke up the next day, walked out of rehab, a perfect changed person. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those people.
It's just not your story.
It's not my story, and frankly, I don't believe the ones that do say that. I just don't believe that that's how it happens. But I shouldn't say that. But my story is, it was probably, and I wish I did a diary. It's kind of one of the things I wish I did. I wish I did a diary because I think it was like I slugged through this thing. And slugged is probably a good term for probably 2 years. Now I started seeing some things along the way, but I started more seeing changes in other people in the room, which gave me hope just to keep slugging away. And there was a guy that was very helpful, and he was talking about the God thing, and he said he prayed for 18 months, and he finally felt like, somebody was there listening. And so to me, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to keep doing this. First of all, I knew where the other path was taking me, right? So I didn't want to be on the drinking path again. Right. So I'm like, hey, I'm on here. I committed to this. I surrendered to this. I am going to keep going. It's not as bad as it was.
Right.
It's not maybe what I want, but maybe this is the new perfect, the new normal. Is just slugging through.
Keep going.
But man, and then something started clicking, and it's been a multiplier ever since that point.
All right. Boy, that's good, serious stuff. I got one for you.
All right.
Sex is better sober. Didn't see that coming, did you?
Well, I would say false.
Okay, you want to expound?
Look at Brian busting up in there. Brian, I love you, man.
He's like,
you rock.
He's like, who scripts this stuff?
No, I would say false.
Mikey's head. Glenn is the funny one.
Wait, whoa. We're just going to skip over that?
Oh, we're skipping over that.
Why?
It was a placeholder.
Wait, you don't want me? We're not going to expound on that?
Just leaving it dangling out there.
Oh, you can't
You figure
that.
out if sex is better when you're sober. I don't know. That's a home experiment.
Write us. Hey, if you're out there, just reach out to us. I can say it's funny. I can say
You remember it.
Selfishly, it's not better sober. What I can say for my partners, well, my partner now, is sex is a lot better with me being sober. So it depends on the perspective. But I mean, I had some absolute crazy times, drunk sex.
By yourself?
Sometimes.
All right. There you go. Next question.
Hey, man, this is an honest program.
Next question. Let's get this thing back on track.
Look at you blushing,
I
man.
know.
Hey, you're the one that brought it up.
I know. I thought it'd be fun.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. The more years of sobriety, the better life is.
True.
You say true?
True.
Really? Okay. I say there's some people out there that would say false.
Well, I would say then that some people, I would say to those people that, we just did. I mean, grateful is so part of our every conversation. I mean, the more years that you have sobriety, if you're really paying attention to the things that are better, right? That are better. It just the numbers increase. It just piles up. I mean,
right.
If you got two things that are better the first year, and then two new things the second year, it's four things that are just like better. And I mean, I can't imagine that your legal life isn't better, and that your finances isn't better, and I mean, and things still happen. You get jobs, but there's a better opportunity.
Right. So let me clarify, because
Yeah.
what you just said, is in my mind 100% right. But what I was thinking of, and again, it's sober, not drinking, right? So
right.
The question was probably should have been posed. The more years of not drinking, the better life is.
Oh.
And there's people I know in the program who haven't really worked the program, haven't really worked the steps. They got 7-8 years sober, haven't really worked the steps, and their life blows just like it did 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 7 years ago.
That is an absolute possibility.
Just absolute blows.
Yeah.
And they're like dumbfounded.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, you have done nothing to change your life.
Right.
So why are you expecting a different result?
Yeah.
You've done nothing.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. So that's not drinking, also
not
known
drinking.
as dry, or
Right,
you get
sure.
to use all those terms. But sober is living, in our minds, living the steps in the program of AA, the 12 steps. That delivers a sober life.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you're doing a sober life, the sober path, the better life.
The better
gets.
things it piles on.
So,
Okay.
so that was a true/false answer, or what?
Yeah, I know, right? All right, true, false. Glenn really lost over 45 pounds this year. True or false?
That's false.
What? This
No.
year, you didn't lose 45 pounds this
I
year?
lost 45. The question was over 45 pounds.
Oh, okay. So, boy, you are super to the letter on
That's
it.
my life today, man.
All right.
So I lost 45 pounds.
That's
Then I
fantastic.
had shoulder surgery. I gained 12 back. Mm-hmm. And now I'm back on the path. I am going to lose a total this year of 50 pounds. This year it depends. Maybe on the 31st, I'm going to measure how much of my arm I have to cut off. But I am going to lose 50 pounds by the time this year ends.
Awesome, man. That's everything working in your direction.
And that's using a lot of the same tools I use for booze, to be honest with you.
Well, a big shout out to you taking care of your physical. It's a big part of the program. We should probably just spend some time on that in the coming months and talk about the physical, just that whole part of the program.
I just got some microgreens delivered. I can't wait to eat them today with some salmon.
I did microgreens in the 70s. I think we're talking about something different.
Mike, they're called mushrooms.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right. You got any more
No,
rapids,
I'm
or
out.
can we bug out of here?
No, you're the overachiever. Do one or two more. You got more.
All right. Mike's mom really listens to this podcast. True or false?
I say absolutely true.
And I won't even answer it, and that way you'll never know.
I
Does she listen or
say-
does she not?
I say true.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
awesome.
And lastly, you two, in fact, gave us permission to use the song 40.
Specifically, that's false. but implied through our research and understanding.
And are reaching out.
And well, I mean,
look, Bono, if you're listening, we'll Vimo you some money.
Hey, yeah, we'll give you 100% of our profits.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better.
You know, I had a guy reach out yesterday with a picture of a Bible page, Psalm 40.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I heard this is a pretty cool song. That's what one of our listeners sent.
Oh, that's hysterical.
It was pretty cool.
All right, buddy, they're bugging
Good
for our
stuff,
table.
Man. Gotta run.
Gotta
man.
run.
I love rapid fire, true false.
We'll do it again.
All right,
Thanks, man.
See you, Mikey. Love
Bye-bye.
you, brother. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@sober.coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.